Errol Spence does it the day of Terence Crawford's fight. He lets it be known, or at least hints to the idea that he's still on Terence Crawford's bumper. That's what I want to talk about in this video. Let's talk about it. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego in the back. Box. Errol Spence on his verified social media, he did post this. It says limited edition shirt drop, exclamation point. Link is in my bio, right? It's a picture of, it's kind of a play off a previous shirt. The previous shirt was Errol Spence, big fish, aka a shark image, and he was going down a hallway with doors. And it's commonly from, there was like a Grim Reaper meme, and it's the same scenario, but instead of the Grim Reaper, it was the shark, the big fish. And he's getting to the last door in that division, welterweight, and it has the initials TC, obviously standing for Terence Crawford, right? And before, it just had him and the shark going down the hallway. And it had the big fish, and he was going down the hallway with the scythe, the Grim Reaper weapon, right? A sharp scythe. Now, this updated shirt is the shark, and he's waiting by the door. The door's open with some eyes. It's pretty detailed. And the door's like peeking out, like seeing who's at the door. And posted in front of it is Big Fish. Hey, stop that cat. Hey, man down. Big Fish is posted out waiting on the phone. And there was a popular meme with this black dude, and he has his arms crossed, and he was on the phone. So basically what I'm getting from this is Errol Spence is hinting that, and he's doing it the day, like, you got to look at the strategic moves here, people. He's doing it the day of Terence Crawford's fight, David Avanesian. So from this, I would take from that Errol Spence is still an interested spectator of this fight. Not saying that he's going to Omaha and going to watch the fight, but he will probably be paying attention whether he watches it live at his house or, is just keeping up with the highlights or whatnot, because he's still interested in fighting Terence Crawford. That's the only thing that one could really infer from seeing this, that Errol Spence still has Crawford on the menu. It's a dope shirt, just from my initial talking point is just how the shirt looks dope. It's an updated shirt, and I like it. I think it's dope. So make sure you guys go to Errol Spence's website. He got the link in the bio on his Instagram, and cop the merchandise. It's a limited run. So that's my first thoughts, is just I looked at the shirt and I was like, okay, that's kind of dope. And real strategic from Errol Spence. It kind of takes some shine away from Terence Crawford, because it's Errol Spence news. He's been very quiet, so he strategically took this day to reveal that shirt, and it got people talking. And obviously the shark image that's waiting in front of the door, it kind of gives and puts a bad light on Terence Crawford, and I'll explain why in this video. The reason why I feel that is because Terence Crawford, in the game of chicken, and I keep saying this, in the game of chicken, Terence Crawford elected to do something else and swerve out of the way. So Errol Spence was speeding towards you. You were speeding towards Errol Spence. Based on what we know from both fighters were perceived as dogs, and both fighters are undefeated, things of that sort. So based on the trash talk, the banter, and the energy that we've gotten from both sides, but particularly Terence Crawford's side, you wouldn't really expect him to kind of pull out of negotiations and throw a monkey wrench in the plan for undisputed, and then come out with this whole litany of different excuses / reasons as to why it happened. And I think that's what's hurting Crawford the most. These interviews and the explanation really just doesn't make sense. I look at it like this. If you made a decision that you felt was a great decision and there was no backlash, you wouldn't even really have to explain that. It makes a lot of sense. Like if LeBron James signed a contract with Nike and it was for $600 million for a course of so many years, you don't have to really explain nothing. That's not a bad move. Or when LeBron James signed with Beats by Dre, Beats by Dre was purchased by Apple. This just makes all the sense in the world for you to partner with big deals. But you see how it's played out for Crawford and Crawford Avanesian. It's received a lot of backlash. It looks low budget. There's, growing pains, if you will, with BLK Prime, and people haven't responded positively to the fight. So it looks bad for Crawford because this has never been the case with Fox and Showtime, who Errol Spence and his team and PBC and Al Heyman work with. And then you decided to go AWOL and do this completely different journey. And this really wasn't the fight that you wanted. And you're constantly having, you or your team constantly having to explain. And it's really not making sense what Crawford's saying, because again, if you made a great decision that was valuable to you, then you really probably don't have to do much explaining. But based on the backlash, that's what's actually happened with Crawford. He has to explain, and the explanations have been all over the place. Oh, he needed to fight this year, so you couldn't wait 2 more months. You were going to fight in February, first week of February. You couldn't wait 6-7 weeks to do that for all the marbles undisputed. So it looks like there's more there. The other thing is, when we're talking about Crawford, the way Crawford makes it sound is like, in his team, almost makes it sound like he's Superman or invincible. So you wouldn't expect Crawford to, again, need a tune-up. But I've also heard that as an excuse from the Bud buddies. Like, oh, what do you expect? He's been out the ring. But that's not how they were talking. They weren't talking like, hey, we need a tune-up. They were talking about stopping Errol Spence and so on and so forth. And I could do this all day. There's contradictions and inconsistencies all over the place. Terence Crawford and his team says Errol Spence, he's just a regular fight. They say Errol Spence is getting knocked out by Bud. But at the same time, Bud did interviews and he sounded worried about the judges and said that Errol Spence is Al's guy and he's going to look after him. But if you knock someone out, I mean, what could Al Heyman do? And he was like, oh, Mikey Garcia, he was used as a stepping stone, blah, blah, blah. But if you knock him out, none of this judges and crazy scorecards come into play. So again, the pressure has been on Terence Crawford. Errol Spence has kept the same energy. Errol Spence posted the other shirt and he was walking up to the door. Now the day of, he's posting this shirt, still at the door, and letting that message be known that he's still looking for smoke. And if anything, Crawford and his team, they're the ones that have had to back off the blocks, go a different route, reroute. I liken it to GPS. If you're using Waze GPS map and you go the perfect way, the way that Waze told you to go, you're driving from the Bay Area to LA and you're going the exact way with no detours, the exact way it told you, then it'll never say rerouting. But if you detour and you're like, oh, I need to pee on the side of the road, I need to get a burger, I need some gas, and you do something else and you go off course, that's when it's going to say rerouting. Or if you're driving and it told you to get off at this freeway exit number 86, and then you drove past it and it's exit 87, then it's going to tell you to go to this and then flip around and U-turn and blah, 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 because you went the wrong way. And I feel like that's what people see with the Terence Crawford situation. Crawford has had to reroute. And again, I think it would have been at least better if you just said, hey, I need a tune-up and I'm getting 10 million to fight a tune-up. And then people can just, be mad at that, and it would have been that. But to say Errol Spence is his fault and blame Al Heyman and make it look like they backed out or the deal wasn't good, it just doesn't sound believable. The deal that Al Heyman and PBC put together for Canelo, it was good enough to get Canelo on their network for Undisputed with Caleb Plant, but it wasn't good enough to get Terence Crawford, who sells less and has less fanfare than Canelo. I was born ready, right? It just doesn't make sense. Canelo has made more money than Terence Crawford, that's a fact, in the game of boxing, and probably outside of boxing with endorsements and, businesses and stuff. So you can't tell me that Crawford is more of a consummate businessman than Canelo and making more money than Canelo, but somehow, some way, the deal that Canelo and Al Heyman arrived at was good enough to get him on the network for Undisputed, and it did almost 1 million buys, and everybody seemed satisfied with the numbers, but it somehow wasn't good enough for Bud. Let me know what you guys think of Errol Spence limited edition merch, new drop. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Best in the business, but y'all know that. I'm out. Introducing Super Thanks right here on the official Boxing Ego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new interactive and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.